Good day, everybody. It's the 16th of February, and we had another couple of boats come in last night, which was fun. Perfect thing for us who have to sit around in ribs, including Vero and all the drivers from the Yacht Club Punta Leste and other people who are helping in all sorts of different ways. So we just had one boat come in, and literally half an hour later, another boat come in, and we weren't up until, well, we were. A few people didn't get to bed till 4 o'clock or something, but anyway, that was all part of the fun. Beautiful night, a little bit of a moon in the beginning, and not cold. The breeze was nice. We didn't get wet. All those sorts of fun things. So that was kind of cool. So Helsinki, Spirit of Helsinki, was the first one to turn the corner, and it was quite an epic battle all day. They were having to go at each other all the way up towards Punta for the last, 80 miles, 100 miles or something. And sure enough, they arrived just before Maiden. And very happy to be there, that's for sure. And then we managed to get him onto the dock, or Vera and the Yacht Club team got him through the mooring system. We'd gone out and had a look just to double check Maiden couldn't sneak in without us knowing. Came back and we managed to pop the champagne on the dock, which was a lot of fun. And all through that whole process, I'd completely forgotten about something that was very important, and that was the fact that Maiden actually had compensation for 1 hour when they weren't racing. Now, what happened, I think it was back some time ago when they were coming, into last leg, they sighted what they believed was a life raft, and they contacted race control, asked me effectively if they could seek permission to stop racing and go and investigate. The life raft was about 3 miles away, and we said, yeah, absolutely, go check it out. So they logged everything, they stopped racing, they mowed it over. There wasn't a lot of wind at the time. It was about 3 miles away. Had a look. It was actually a floating bright orange mooring buoy, huge one. Came back to exactly the same position by GPS to start racing again. And effectively their time off scene, back on scene to start racing was about, if I remember correctly, it was 51 minutes or something like that. And we gave them a few more minutes for the disruption to their racing concentration, because they really were. They were racing in light weather. They logged everything, the weather before they got left, or weather as they left, and the weather when they got back, and the sea state, all this sort of stuff. And we gave them a very clear, simple 1 hour time credit for the time they're off course. So when Helsinki came in, we were doing the live, and I completely forgot about that because we were enthralled everything else that was happening in the day. So they were pretty cool. They thought they came second. And then when Maiden came in, we still had forgotten about it. And then all of a sudden, Georgie remembered when we were actually on the marina. He said, hey, they get an hour credit. That puts them 16 minutes in front of Helsinki. And it was like, oh, one of those moments. Which was very real. We had to break the news to Juicy on Spirit of Helsinki. He was obviously very disappointed, but he wouldn't have necessarily known anyway, because those issues that happen on the course, we don't talk about it until the end of the leg. And I think Maiden themselves also forgot about it, even though they knew they were getting a 1 hour compensation. This was weeks ago. And they thought, oh, crikey, they came second. So it was quite a fun moment for Maiden, that's for sure. And so, and in fact, just to be clear, I've got the list here. Georgie just sent it to me. Of the 3 boats that have finished, Penjuic also had a time penalty. That was an addition to their time, which relates to a scheduled and planned sail repair in Auckland. So in other words, we gave entrants the option. If they wanted to get a sail repair, they had to register that with us. We gave them permission to move their sails off the boat to a sailmaker, do the repairs, and come back on board again. And that cost them 12 hours. So we've now put the 12 hours onto Penjuic's time. And that means their finish time was February the 13th, 15 hours, 56 minutes and 12 seconds. We add on that was UTC, and then there's a local time as well. So when we add the 12 hours, it means their official finish time was the 14th of February at 03 hours, 56 minutes and 12 seconds. And so that comes to play with the IRC rating, which we'll look at the end of this update. And then for Maiden, their finish time UTC was February the 16th at 0300 hours and 1 minute 48 seconds. Excuse me. When we put that's UTC time. When we take off an hour, okay, that gives them a finishing time of 16th of February, 02 hours, 01 minute and 48 seconds. And Spirit of Helsinki has no compensation or addition to their time, no penalties or anything. So their finish time is the official time, and that's February the 2nd at 17 minutes and 43 seconds. So Maiden actually came in 16 minutes ahead of Spirit of Helsinki. So they're second overall in leg 3. Now, just to be clear on that also, we obviously recognise line honours for the whole fleet coming through. We only recognised IRC placings for each of the 3 classes. We don't necessarily declare or give trophies or anything for anyone that's first boat across the line for the 3 classes. And the premier class, the real winner of the OGR, will be the IRC winner. And the reason for that is quite simple. We've got 70-odd foot boat, Penduic, okay, with a big boat. The bigger the boat, the faster theoretical maximum speed is. So it's easier. If you've got a bigger boat, you're going to be a lot faster than a 51-footer like Godspeed was. Okay, so you have the handicap rating, which is IRC, which measures all the parameters of a boat. The sail area, the length, the displacement, the waterline length, the beam, the power, all these different things, and it comes up with a performance number for that size boat. And then you've got the bigger ones, which are obviously faster, and then it's all compensated back so that they're all on zero. Like they're all the point of the IRC rating is that the slower boats are given an advantage in their time, and the faster boats, the bigger boats, are given a disadvantage to get it that they're on an even playing field. And so if you have a really well-sailed small boat, it has a chance of winning over a really badly sailed big boat. Okay? And it evens the playing field. So anyone in the fleet, no matter big boat, small boat, medium boat, it will come down to how that crew are sailing their boat. So that's the way the handicapping thing works. So anyway, it's all happening right now as we speak. The only other news that you can follow the tweets, remember. Outlaw broke their main sheet track, their main traveller track, and that's what the main sheet is, a rope controlling the mainsail in and out. It goes down onto a car and you can slide it across the boat. The track is broken, so they can't use it. So it means now they cannot load it up any more than 1 reef in the mainsail. That means they can't go to full hoist on the main. So as long as there's breeze, it won't affect them that much. But if it goes light, they're having to sail with 1 reef in the mainsail. So, which is a bit of a strange one, because if it goes light, the amount of load pull on the rope, or the pull on the rope, it should be, if you've got 1 reef in the main, and it's blowing 30 knots, you should be able to go full hoist if it's only blowing 10 knots, because it's the same load. But so maybe we're not reading that message right. But anyway, they think they may have to slow up a bit because they don't want to overload the track. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the tracker, and we'll work out when next boat, Neptune's going to arrive late today sometime. So that's pretty cool. You can, I'll get on the tracker here. You've got it. So interestingly, we've got everyone on the one page now. So we've got Explorer down the bottom here, struggling with headwinds. And up the top here, we've got Neptune making a dead direct course, a straight line course for Yacht Club Punta Leste finishing line. And they're not very far away at all. And the weather's beautiful sailing conditions if you're going south. Disastrous sailing conditions if you want to go north. And they're all having to earn their keep at the moment. They're struggling in the mid-fleet. It's all struggling in headwinds. In fact, everyone is except for Triana is starting to free off now, and also Neptune. But we'll look at that in a sec. So let's start off with the tail enders in the fleet. Explorer down here, chugging into these, building northeasterly winds, and currently doing we've got 6.4 knots, 6.4 hard on the breeze. It's probably blowing 20, gusting 26, 27, 28, 138 mile day. They made good progress early on, but now they're really struggling. So all is okay, but the bad news is the wind's going to increase from the nose, but then it'll jump around. So Sterner, 6.3 knots and only 96 mile day. So they're also doing it tough, trying to get north. Okay. And I'm going to just follow the weather here in this zone while we're here, give you a chance to see the size. So if we push forward a little bit, you can see still those headwinds are increasing in strength for Explorer. And I think at that point, you'll probably see her tack across. She's currently on port tack. Okay, taking the wind on the port side of the boat. I think soon, by the time this gets here, which will be later, sometime early hours of the morning, she'll tack across and start heading up in this direction, which could be a good thing. And Sterner may hold that. They haven't got any increase in strength, but still headwinds, and then it's starting to pick up. But very quickly for Sterner, it's going to go bang. And by the time this is happening, they'll be up here a little bit, but it'll give them a beautiful kick. They'll start rocketing north. For Explorer, she'll be over here somewhere, still in light headwinds, and so the gap will widen between Sterner and Explorer, and then that wind shadow, by the time that happens, Sterner is going to come up here, but Explorer will be coming across. Now, they're going to get big winds from the southwest, and they'll just ride with that. Now, I've had a look on Windy, and it's going to be gusting to 45. Sea's only building up slowly, but it's building up to 5 meters, maybe a bit more. And so they should be fine in that. They'll all of a sudden start rocketing along and probably then take back that distance between Explorer and Sterner that they'll lose, because Sterner will be starting to run out of breeze, maybe. So anyway, Explorer's in for another bit of a blow. Won't last long, about 12 hours. And Sterner will be slowing down, because by then Sterner's going to be up here somewhere. The Explorer will still be riding this gradient and maybe closing the gap. Let's see how long it lasts. Yes, Sterner's now parked. She'd be parked up here, but Explorer will still be riding that south westerly and might be very lucky there then. So by the time they get to there, that's on the 18th, 16th, 17th, 18th. 2 days, I reckon they'll get about 350 miles on that, maybe. Let's see what that. Oh, no, they're going to be right up here. So they'll close the gap to about 100 miles from Sterner. I think Sterner will be up here, but they'll have a good run on that. So, and Sterner will be struggling in light headwinds again. So that's their lot for the next few days. I'm back here. Okay, so this is real-time weather today. Evrika doing 6.6 knots and 119 mile day, just plugging along to windward. Be very frustrating for them. Same with White Shadow, only 76 mile day, 4.8 knots. Remembering they've got no forestay. They've just got halyards up securing the top of the mast, and they're sailing only with a couple of reefs in the main. I think, hang on a sec, that could be, just stand by. Check the emergency phone. Sorry about that. We just had a phone go off, and it sounded like one of the emergency phones, but I couldn't see. Jane was in a different room. So anyway, White Shadow, yeah, no forestay, but doing okay. They're not reporting any stress on that one. Then Outlaw now, broken main sheet track, sailing into light headwinds, 4.1 knots and 121 mile day. So very frustrating for them. Same with Galliana with Secure, 6 knots and only 100 nautical mile day. The Spree Kip, same thing, 7.3, or at least they're moving now. They were going very slow, and they've only managed 89 miles. Now, with all of these, you see what happens with the IRC rating, because Penjuic has just been sitting there. Sailed up very fast, straight up to Yacht Club Punta del Este finish line, and all of a sudden now these guys are really struggling here. So it decreases their what we say performance under IRC. They're just not sailing to their rating. So and it's weather based. So that's very frustrating for them. Okay, now Triana, we're talking about distance to the finish and speed. because they're in a if we in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to split this into two. It's hard for you to see this on the screen. We'll talk about the Galiana group again. Here they are here. Got these light headwinds. So let's just push that forward a couple of days and see what happens. Starting to increase in strength. So White Shadow, Evrika are going to be looking at stronger headwinds, the same with the rest of them, but it's coming a bit more around to the northeast, which is good because that means they'll be able to head in a more northerly course. So by later tonight, that's a bit better for them, but then it's fading away again to nothing. So there's going to be more frustrations for this middle group, either medium or light headwinds carrying on for a couple of days. Not fast, not helping their IRC rating. It's going to help Pengjuic and those that are already in to climb the rankings there. So that's within the next couple of days. No good news for them. Okay, so back to real-time weather again for today. And this is all good news for Neptune and Triana because the wind is, we can see here now, Neptune straight away has got an easterly, which is fantastic. So she can cool around and head straight for the finish line, which is good. And Triana, they'll ride that as well. So at the moment, Triana is doing 7.4 knots and managed a 126-mile day. Not great, but it's still okay. Probably holding their own. Neptune doing 7.4 knots and 126-mile day, but I wouldn't expect them to slow up. So if we just now, I think we'll just talk about ETAs and timeline. Well, let's just follow the weather through, and then I'll go specific on Neptune because a few people are waiting here now to greet her. So the easterly is strengthening, and then it's going more northeasterly. So there's no shortage of breeze, and we're expecting them in on that. So by the time we get there, there's got nothing worse than a northeasterly, so they'll be able to head straight in, and their speed won't decrease. They're on 7.4 knots. There's only 32 miles to the finish. So if that was 8, it was 4. It's only like about 5 hours. So we started off on this one at it's 15-minute updates on this. So this was 4, so that's 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock, 5 to 6 o'clock. So I think we'll see Neptune arriving in Punta del Este in about 6 o'clock local time, which is about 9. What do we got? 10. So that's 22. So that's 21. About 2100 UTC on the 16th. You'll see Neptune arriving here. So 2100. That's not too bad for back in France. So there should be a few people following the live. Okay. So and then for Triana, I think that'll be pretty consistent as well. So their distance to the finish right now is 100. Let's keep it simple. 100 miles. They're doing 7.4, so that's 10 hours is 70, and another 30 is near enough to half. So it's 15 hours from now, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, our time. It's going to be 1 o'clock another 3, 2, 3, 4, 4 o'clock in the after 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning is about when they're going to be here. Add another hour fudge factor, that's 5 o'clock in the morning local time, which is 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock UTC tomorrow for that's 8 o'clock in the morning for Triana. So there'll be a few people getting up early to see that. They're actually clear leaders in IRC at the moment, so it's quite a big deal for them at the moment, and I think they'll probably hold that. So we might be looking at the IRC winner for Neptune late today. And if we just push this weather through just to see how it holds for Triana. Oh, it's getting softer. Okay, so that could slow them down a bit. It's getting dramatically softer up here. So, well, that's good. We won't have to get up in the dark tomorrow morning. So, but we've got a press conference tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So hopefully they will arrive before the press conference. So I'll have a good analysis of that weather here with Windy and just see how it stacks up. But I think if that's 5, 6, 7, 8. I reckon we might see them somewhere between 7 and 8 in the morning, and that's 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 1100 hours UTC maybe for Triana. Okay, going to be a bit later on that one, but that's fine. Okay, so now let's have a look at the leaderboard. Lion Honours is straightforward. You see where it's happening. Now you'll see here, both Penduick and Maiden have been affected by the various penalty or compensation of time, and that's what this little insignia is here. So Penduick correction plus 12 hours. They've had 12 hours added to their finish time, and then Maiden is 12 hours. Minus 12 hours. No, Maiden corrections. We better check this. It's got minus 1 hour. And then it's got minus 12 hours authorised life raft investigation. Well, we know it's only gone back 1 hour. Oh no, this is hang on. This was just happening this morning. We might need to check this. So we've got, I'm going to refer this to my message here. It should be February. So Maiden should now have finished on 02/01/48. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, forget that until we get onto it. I'll have to double check exactly what's happening here because 02/01, that is correct. Okay, 02/17, that is correct as well. The other one, corrected elapsed time, is a tricky one. But anyway, it was only 1 hour, so I'm not sure why it says minus 12 hours authorised life raft investigation. So anyway, they're stacked up. Spirit of Helsinki was next on the list, Lion Honours, then Neptune, Triana, and the Spirit of Kip, and as it goes. Now, when we go to IRC, we have got 3 boats now that are actually in. I'm just going to slide this up here. We've got Maiden on 38 days, 8 hours and 30 minutes. We've got Penduick on 38. Oh boy, Penduick is on 38 days, 9 hours and 6 seconds. Okay, so Maiden is ahead of Penduick after they've had their time penalty. Spirit of Helsinki is 39 days, 12 hours, 46. So where's it looking with Triana? 36 days and 5 hours. They're looking clean. No one is going to touch them. So when they cross the line, they will be clearly the IRC leader for leg 3. Galliano with Secure is 37 days, 15 hours. And that's against Maiden. Can Maiden sneak up the rankings there? Galliano has no penalties or bonuses. And that means they're 15, that's 9 hours plus another 8. They're 17 hours ahead. That's yet to be seen. Maiden could climb the rankings there. Depends how slow Galliano with Secure is because of this strange weather. Neptune, however, is, wow. Neptune's 38 days, 8 hours and 52 minutes. Maiden is 38 days, 8 hours and 30 minutes. So they're only 22 minutes behind Maiden. Can they make up 22 minutes in the next 4 hours? I doubt it, but let's have a look. So they could swap over there if they're really flying, and I think it's going to be average speed, so I doubt whether that's going to happen. The rest of it is probably as you see it. We'll just have to wait to see. I think White Shadow is going to be slower, so Spirit of Helsinki will jump White Shadow. They'll be underneath that. So there's still a few places that are going to change. Hope that makes sense to everyone. We'll watch this space to see how it goes. All right, that's the end of that. Let me go over here and say good day to people and see if anyone's got any important questions or comments. Slide that up to the beginning. Hi, Garrett. Boy, it's hard to see on this computer screen sometimes. Clara, managed to catch you live today. Good. Starting to see the fleet. Yep. Kylie. Yeah. We would have got it eventually, but Georgia remembered it outside. We dealt with it before, so it was all good. How could you forget Dime? For certain real, genuine followers of Maiden wouldn't forget. Not at all, sweetheart. We sail with Maiden. That's cool, but remember, Maiden forgot themselves. So they knew they got that extra hour, but they completely forgot it as well. We're all absorbed with the match racing just about coming up the last 100 miles. So it was good fun. Anyway, all part of the course. Kylie is translated 9 now doing repairs in the Falklands. Yeah, the latest there, I actually had lunch with Marco. He got off the island. They chartered a plane to get off, and they had chartered a plane to get things onto the island to keep progress going. And there's a real rush because they have to relaunch the boat on the 19th of this month in 3 days. They've prepped all the repairs. They've grounded all away, found out what's going on. There is a couple of builders coming down on a special military flight from the UK, which is due to arrive sometime tomorrow morning, I think, with 2 builders on it, 2 boat builders, composite specialists, who will then pick up the charge. So that'll be the 17, 18, 19. They'll have a couple of days. And the objective will then be to patch everything from the outside, and then they have to relaunch the boat on the 19th because they're using a big crane on the ship, and the ship's leaving on the 19th. But if they seal up the outside, they can carry on working on the inside while they're in the water. If it was all done, and it may not be done by the time they launch, they then got to reload the boat. They took everything off, put it in containers, and then they've got to re-rig the boat. They've got to put the mast back on, but there is a crane on the island that is big enough to do that. So that'll take them a few days to get that sorted. So 19, 20, 21. Then they need to, it's going to take them about a week to get up to less. So it's 7, it's getting 28, something like that, 29. They have to be here for at least 4 days before the restart. And the restart is on the 5th of March. So they need to be established in this part of the world by the 1st. And all indications are that it is possible. So at the moment, they're pulling strings everywhere to make things happen, and it's looking possible. So we're hopeful and expecting to see Translated 9 on the start line. There's some amazing backstories to this, and I'll just give you one. I don't think Marco will mind, but they're filming it all, so it's going to be an amazing story of recovery. All the crew are working hard and so on. But they are out of the rankings, of course, so they get no benefit from leg 3. But there is one way to get on the island is a British Air Force flight direct from the UK straight down to the Falklands. It's a military flight, so they transfer military personnel. But once a week, they allow up to 30 private passengers, like ordinary citizens. And their team and Paul Card are working very hard to get 2 builders from Jerry Rogers, one of the real high quality composite builders down there in the UK, and he got 2, and they rushed them up there to the Navy base to get on the plane, but they arrived about 15 minutes late at the gate. They had to be there 3.5 hours before. But it was a panic for them to get there. Cut a long story short, they weren't getting on. Paul rang me and said, "Hey, do you reckon we can have a word to Sir Jay Blythe, who's ex-military and all that sort of stuff, and see if we can pull some strings?" And amazingly, he tried. It got very, and all of a sudden, everyone at the base was on board and trying to get these builders in and get them registered and get on the plane. But the plane had just shut down before they could get going, so they didn't make that flight. This was a couple of nights ago, which was sad. But it was a fantastic effort by Sir Jay, to call various military personnel and stuff. But anyway, but the good news is that that whole process of trying to make things happen rolled over, and they've been given another flight on a non-scheduled normal passenger flight. They have military flights specifically, so they then schedule and they've got on a flight that's in the air right now, I think. So that was fantastic of them, and everyone playing the game and understanding what it means for an entrant in the OGR and so on, and quite a good story. So that's just one little backstory. Anyway, all good. So we're looking forward to seeing Translated get there. It's all about the human stories, as Marco would say. But I don't know whether he pitched our line. We did pitch his line. Anyway, so Marco got on and off the island on the charter plane they had, which is a whole story in itself. And they're running a conference here for a lot of their business clients and stuff. So it's quite a lot going on. Hi, Don. Will there be any penalty or sanction made for the radio call by Georgie? No. It was inadvertent situation. So, it was. We had a little situation there where it was clarification of the mark, and it was night time. The mark had a strobe light on it, and it's quite okay to mention the final confirmation that there is a strobe light on the mark in bits and pieces. But it was a minor hiccup there, and it was all sort of not fudged over, but it didn't have any real performance gain and all this sort of stuff. It was just one of those things that happened. So no big deal. Neptune have 36 hours to add to leg 3 for sail repairs. Yes, that's right. There's these sail repairs, we call them a penalty, but it's a penalty by choice. They can decide whether they want the sail repairs to go in, and if they do, they just wear the price. I mean, we put 2 spinnakers on board on Explorer in Auckland because they were given to us as a gift. Virtually brand new, fantastic, from a boat, another Swan 57, and that cost us a day, 24-hour penalty. Not that Explorer's racing sort of win the race or anything, but yeah, they're penalties of choice. So that's that one. Ryan, probably jumping the gun here, Dom, but when does leg 4 kick off? On March the 5th. Okay, March 5th, Tuesday, March the 5th. Interesting interview of Marco telling the story of their repairs at Stanley. Yeah, meanwhile, wonderful to see all the boats arriving. Hope to get some sleep. Yeah, it was good. Jane was doing it. I got down 2:30 or something, but Jane was going up about 4 o'clock to do the gallery, and Rob was doing stuff and a few others as well. So, but it was good to have 2 boats together. Yeah, it's complicated calculating IRC. I don't even try. We leave it to the program on the Yellow Brick tracker. We give the raw data, and the tracker works it out for us. Will Explorer make the restart? Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're doing okay. They're sort of like 1,000 miles or so to the finish. So even though the headwinds, we'd expect normally 1,000 miles is a week without trying too hard. So we'd expect to see them on the 24th or the 25th here. The restart's on the 5th, so 9 or 10 days. They'll have a bit of a break. And so far, touch wood, I haven't seen the final list. But there's not a lot to do on Explorer for this one. So I think we'll end up putting the wires in the quadrant, the steering gear. I think there's still Dyneema there at the moment, and a few just general servicing and so on. So this could be the first time they have a bit of a normal break, but we'll have to see. They go and sit on the beach and contemplate the meaning of life. Beautiful beaches here, and it's a nice day today as well. So anyway, hi Jill, Jonathan. I don't think you misspoke regarding IRC ratings. The well-sailed smaller boat could still beat a well-sailed larger boat, not just a poorly sailed large. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it just means that. Oh no, that's. Hang on a sec. The well-sailed smaller boat can beat a well-sailed larger boat. Well, yeah, a poorly sailed larger boat. Yeah, I got it wrong. So not just poorly sailed. No, the idea you've got. Okay, so I said that a well-sailed little boat can beat a poorly sailed bigger boat. So the poorly sailed bigger boat will be in the front, but a well-sailed little boat can beat them on handicap. So I still think that not just a poorly sailed large boat. I'm not sure what I said now, but anyway, the idea is it levels the playing field. So that's cool. Thanks, Jonathan. So many interesting details. Yes, that post should have come from me, not the Greenly on the Hill opens gardens, a classic garden display. Sorry about that, but I don't know what that one's about. Anyway, hi Judy, amazing race so far. Yeah, it is. So I hope you're enjoying it. Okay, that's it from me. So we'll see you out there late today for Neptune. We look forward to seeing it. It's a great story. Great story. So we'll be there. And then tomorrow morning, maybe a bit more civilized hour for Triana. So we'll see what happens. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.